Good afternoon. This is a hearing of the Chatham Conservation Commission being held on March 5th, 2025 in accordance with the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act and the Town of Chatham Wetlands Protection Bylaw and Regulations. My name is Karen Latin and I serve as the chair. Today's hearing is being broadcast live on Xfinity Channel 1072 and is being recorded for the on-demand archives available on the town's website. It is being conducted in person, by phone, and by video conference. The agenda, instructions on how to attend, and copies of documents for review are posted on the town's website. To all participants, whether attending by phone or online, please remain muted unless you've been recognized by the chair. When recognized, please identify yourself for the record. If you're attending by phone, you can mute and unmute using *6. If you're online and you're not a commissioner, please keep your camera turned off unless you've been recognized. Indicate that you wish to speak by using the raised hand feature. So that we have a record of a quorum, I will now ask each commissioner to indicate their presence. Vice Chair Elise Gordon.
Present.
Janet Williams is not present. Cheryl Meservey.
Present.
Eric Hilbert.
Present.
Bob Del Vecchio is not present. Paul Johnson.
Present.
And I am here, so we've established that we have a quorum. Before we begin the agenda, Catherine, are there any announcements about any requests for continuances today?
We have 2 requests for continuance. Notice of intent for 44 Waterview Circle. The applicant has requested a continuance to May 7th, 2025. Notice of intent for 141 Absegami Run. The applicant has requested a continuance to May 7th, 2025.
Thank you. At this point, Catherine Ricks, Chatham's Assistant Conservation Agent, will now lead us through the agenda.
We have a request for an order of conditions at 224 Cranberry Lane, map 15K, parcel 10, for Carolyn Foster Parker, Mass DEP SE 10 3717, construction of a porch addition within the buffer zone to a coastal bank.
Okay, do we have anybody here for this? I'm not on, can you tell?
David Clark here, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Hi, David.
Yeah, I looked at the order, it's pretty standard stuff, I don't see anything that's alarming.
Okay, great. Commissioners, do any of you have anything to add or modify? Okay, then we're ready for a motion.
I move that we close the hearing on 224 Cranberry Lane and approve the order of conditions as written.
Second.
Okay, Paul,
Aye.
Elise,
Aye.
Eric,
Aye.
Cheryl,
Aye.
and I say aye. So you're approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Catherine, the next, please.
We have a request for an order of conditions at 600 Fox Hill Road, map 12M, parcel 6-P4 for Jonathan Seam, Mass DEP SE 10-3720, septic upgrade.
Okay. Again, do we have anybody here for Fox Hill? No. Okay. Do any commissioners have anything to add, modify, or delete on this one? I guess not. Okay, then I guess we can go to a motion, please.
I move that we close the hearing on 600 Fox Hill Road and approve the order of conditions as written.
Second.
Okay, Paul.
Aye.
Elise.
Aye.
Eric.
Aye.
Cheryl.
Aye.
And I say aye, so that's approved. All right, we're just moving right along. Catherine?
Okay, we have a notice of intent at 44 Waterview Circle, map 3C, parcel 64E-J9 for Grace DeLeonardis, Mass DEP SE 10-3705. Proposed construction of a deck and sunroom within the existing footprint of the deck at the rear of the house. The applicant has requested a continuance to May 7, 2025.
Okay,
And I move that we continue 44 Waterview Circle to May 7th, 2025.
Second.
Paul?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I say aye. All right, the next, please.
Okay, notice of intent at 43 Morris Island Road, map 16A, parcel 1-10 for 43 Morris Island Road, Mass DEP SE 10-3712. Proposed addition of a covered porch with a roof deck on the rear of the existing home within the area of the existing stone patio.
How are you?
Good evening for the, Tim Santos from Merrill Engineers representing the applicant. Back before you again, hopefully for the last time. I believe the project was before you a few weeks ago, and there are a few additional revisions to the plan that needed to be done. So we added the wetland and the buffer associated with it that's on the west side of Morris Island Road to the plan, as you can see. We also updated the buffer zone calcs to basically show that the unpermitted walls and steps would be proposed, so they'd be an after effect, and we discussed it at the last hearing. There was a request that the debris that was in the dune be removed, and so we put a note on the plan that that will be removed, and those areas will be restored, anything that's disturbed. One of the commission members asked us to look at the old edge of clearing on the bottom side of the wall, so we've kind of added that edge of clearing to the plan, and it was noted that there was some area that was cleared, so that will be restored. It's shown on our plan as well as CLM's plan. I have added a note to remove the sprinkler heads on the bottom side of the wall, and we're also proposing to minimize some of that lawn area for removal of additional lawn that would be converted to a meadow. That's shown on our plan as well as the CLM plan. And I think Jen is online, and she can kind of review her plan quickly with you, and then we'll address any questions you might have.
Okay, Jen, are you online?
I am. Can you
Okay.
guys hear me all right?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Excellent. I looked at the agenda. You guys like flew through it.
We are. You're pretty much it today.
Absolutely. All right. Well, for the record, Jen Crawford from Crawford Land Management. So I think Tim summarized everything really well. Essentially, we did not change the area for invasive species management. We kept that the same. We didn't really change what we called out as the kind of infill area for lawn removal and the buffer strip restoration. That stayed the same. What we did do is added some more square footage of restoration work based on what Tim was able to include as kind of that old vegetation line from the previous permit. So we've restored that area fully, and then we've reduced the lawn on that lower area and included some blue stem meadow with some pollinator species to increase the buffer strip and habitat value of the buffer right outside the dune there. It's pretty straightforward in terms of, the restoration work and what we would be planting. So I'll just leave it at that.
Okay, thank you. All right, commissioners, does anybody have any questions or comments?
Yeah,
Go ahead, Eric.
yeah, thank you very much. I know the new owners inherited this, but in a way, it'll be kind of a value on its own. Now it's cemented in the records, and down the road, someone doesn't have to go through that again. Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? I have one comment, and I get you redid the coverage table. I struggle with it when you will say sort of existing and proposed, and it's the same number, which means that it's what was previously unpermitted. And in the future, I mean, it's fine for now, but in the future, we are going to start asking that when something is not permitted, we have another box, so to speak, that would say the previously not permitted this amount. And so, because for mitigation, and you have more than enough mitigation, and so that's why I'm not getting all.
So what I did was, if you look at, and I guess we could just go to the 0 to 50.
Yep.
first. And basically where it says existing stone walls and steps, 122 square feet. It's on, I'm sorry, yep, the upper right. And then proposed, it says 187 square feet. And then the change, it says plus 65.
Right.
And with the little two dots. And then I have a little note below that says after the fact approval of stone walls and steps constructed. So
Okay.
I was under the impression that that's what you were looking for.
Yeah, I think, and
So
it's
are you
fine.
talking like in the future, if I happen to come back before the board?
Yeah,
Another
I'm just
project,
saying-
Separate column, so.
Yeah, and you don't have to have existing and proposed. It's just gonna say these are previously not permitted and how many square feet. And then we know that that's something that isn't after the fact.
Not a-
So it's something we talked about the other day in a meeting, and I just think it would be easier for us because, proposed means it hasn't been done, and this is done. So that's the only reason. So that's why I struggled, with it, because it's, you're thinking it's something you want to do. So it's nothing, it's not going to stop anything with this, though. Just thought I'd mention it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, then I think we can go to a motion for an order. Now, when would you like this order?
Sooner the better.
Next week?
That's fine, if,
We
staff
don't have
can-
any at this point that we need to do, so we'll get it done.
And I can zoom in for that, correct?
Yes.
If needed.
Well, yeah, and you heard, David said he read it over, there were no issues, then great. If there's anything that you'd like changed or you have a question about, then that's your opportunity.
Okay.
To do that.
Thank you.
So we can go to a motion, please.
I move that we continue 43 Morris Island Road to March 12th, 2025 for an order of conditions.
Second.
Okay, Paul?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
Oh, and I say aye, so we'll have that ready for you next week. You'll receive it Tuesday afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hopefully you're under your 24 minutes.
Yeah, we will, I think. Thank you.
You too.
Okay, Catherine, the next.
Okay, we have a notice of intent at 141 Absegami Run, map 12E, parcel 23-820 for Amy and Anthony Tutrone, Mass DEP, SE 10-3718, dock and stair reconstruction. The applicant has requested a continuance to May 7, 2025.
I move that we continue 141 Absegami Run to May 7th, 2025.
Second.
Okay, Paul?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I say aye. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, request for certificate of compliance at 0 and 284 Kendrick Road, map 14K, parcels 4B3 and 7, for Tim Reese, Mass DEP, SE 10-3275, elevation of an existing dwelling for FEMA compliance, reconstruction of the detached garage, and installation of raised septic system, partial COC requested.
Okay. And are you or Paul speaking to this?
At this point, we need a better understanding, I think, of what
Yeah.
the partial COC is, and I see Cole Bateman is on
Oh, okay,
line,
Cole is.
so I think Cole can address.
Hi, Cole. Or whoever, yeah. Would you like to speak to
Hi.
this?
I'm Cole Bateman. I'm project manager from Time Bond. However, I believe Bill Riley will be speaking on behalf.
Okay.
Is he present?
I am not seeing him on. No, he is not present. We could continue this.
I don't think we would need to continue. Are there any specific questions from the commissioners that I might be able to address, or would you like me to just do a briefing about the project? We put together what we thought was a pretty comprehensive certificate or partial certificate of compliance application package here with some photos as well as just brief descriptions of
Right.
what remains. But if there's anything I could provide further clarity on, I'd be happy to do so.
Do you want to address that, Catherine?
Yeah, Cole, if you could, I guess, list out exactly what the partial COC request is for and what items do remain.
Sure. I do not have a copy of Bill Riley's letter in front of me. That would be probably the best
Then we gotta
description of the.
continue it.
Well, then we can continue it. That's fine. We could continue it to next week. And that would give you time to organize what is a part of this partial and what is left to be done.
Be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of partials.
No, but
I mean, when the order is written up, I mean, is it partial? Is it in stages? I mean, is it, I don't even know how you can even do that. If you draw up a order of conditions, it'd be like a contract, and without changing it and have all parties involved and us signature the agree, I don't even know. I don't, this is the third partial now that I've seen in a short period of time.
so is this being requested because the home is being sold?
No, I could provide a little bit of clarity here. I didn't want to get into the specific details without Bill providing his commentary, because it's more of a way to interpret the amendments. I think if the commissioners were to go out to the project site right now, they'd find it substantially in conformance with the past orders of conditions. However, it would leave the way that the applicant is viewing this project is the way that the order of conditions is currently written and ongoing conditions is that it would leave the applicant there could be a storm event that comes through and damages the dunes without a good means to repair that dune under the way it's currently written. So that is really the main purpose, is it's to allow for the applicant to maintain the dune, which is currently thriving. There's vegetation on it without coming back to the commission with administrative requests, but just to get it finalized in an approved order, which would later be requested in the future. So it's more of an administrative
So you're
process, that's why.
requesting this certificate of compliance because they want to be able to maintain the dune going forward if necessary?
You probably
I think,
shouldn't speak without.
Bill Riley is on now, it looks like. Please let him
hi.
talk
Oh,
to it. Thanks,
hi, Bill. Okay.
So, I've been sort of missing in action because I had
Yes.
the flu last week and spent a little time in the hospital. So
Yes, I heard.
I
I'm
apologize
sorry.
for not being, but I'm all recovered.
Well, you look pretty good, so I'm sorry you went through that. It's good to
Well-
see you doing better.
All I can say is thank God I was vaccinated. Jeez. Anyway, so,
All right. We have questions about what is included in this partial and why a partial?
I think the reason why it's a partial is that we have ongoing things. We're going to request an amendment to the existing order. I thought I'd already submitted that, but I learned a little while ago that I had not yet submitted it. And we want to have, so we want to make a minor amendment to the existing order, and then have a continuing condition regarding the maintenance of the property and the plantings.
So if you're gonna do that anyway, why would we even bother doing a partial?
Yeah. Well, if I'm confused. If you're applying for an amendment, why try and get a certificate of compliance at this point.
Well, we'd like to move on from the stuff that's all completed. So we know that that is finished and we can look forward on the other aspects of the order. Let me get my file just a minute.
Where'd it go?
Through the chair, looking at it again, I feel like, yeah, an amendment, maybe an amendment request to revise the conditions they want to revise and then a full COC
That's,
to close it out
Yeah.
with the amended conditions.
Right,
Yeah, and we could do that, and
right.
then the,
Get rid of
The
the old
monitoring would
news
be-
and go on with the new one.
I think
exactly.
that's a better way to go, is at this point, table this request and file an amended for whatever you're wanting to amend. And then, once that's been completed, then you can get a full certificate of compliance.
Okay, so what I'll do is, I'll send over the letter request for the amendment later today or
Great.
first thing tomorrow.
Okay. That'd be
I
perfect.
apologize for being missing in combat here.
Oh, no, that's okay. You can't control when you get sick. So I'm glad you're feeling better and getting back into it. So,
Okay, great.
thank you. So at this point, we have no action to take, right?
That's-
Or do we
yeah, that's correct.
table, or do we withdraw the COC request?
Yes, I believe this, I would recommend withdrawing this request because of the fact that it was a partial request.
Right.
And we would want a
Okay.
full request after the amendment, so I think that they would request to withdraw this one, and you'd approve the withdrawal, and then we'd move on to the amendment, get that completed, and then do the full COC
Yeah,
request.
sounds like,
Does that sound good,
sounds like good
Bill
business.
and Cole?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
I move that we
All right, great.
approve the withdrawal of the partial COC on 0 and 284 Kendrick Road.
Second,
Paul?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
Eric?
aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I say aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care.
And we have one more motion.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second,
Paul?
Aye.
Elise?
Aye.
Eric?
aye.
Cheryl?
Aye.
And I say aye. 1:24. 24 minutes. We told you.